Alabama's morning news. And our buddy, this is so good. I love all this. John Risby is back. He's the patent professor. And I'm looking at your name on my map for the show this morning, John. And there's actually, I guess, registered trademark circle around your patent professor. So nobody can touch that, right?
Yes. So the cook eats his own food. Yes, we register our trademarks. Yeah, no one can touch the patent professor.
There goes those 100 T-shirts I just printed up. I'm going to throw those away. All right, well, let's talk about President Trump here. I mean, this is a guy that likes to put his name on things. Let's just call it. I don't know how many buildings have his name on it, but you've got the Kennedy Center situation going on now, too, the Trump Center. And so now here we go with the 250th anniversary. And I'm showing my age here, but I remember I was in high school. The bicentennial at 200. And now we're at 250. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm old. But with that said, is the 250th anniversary something that can be patented and logoed and, copyrighted that nobody else can use it in their name, image, and likeness? Is it owned by somebody, or is he okay?
Yeah, so it's really going to come down to what the public perceives this mark as. Because the Trademark Office, under the Lanham Act, they're required to refuse trademarks that indicate a false suggestion of some kind of connection with a governmental entity. So it's a little tricky because Congress has a committee specifically for celebrating the 250th anniversary. And what are consumers going to think when they see, and the mark that Donald Trump wants to protect is Trump 250. And the question is when the consumers see that, are they going to associate that and somehow believe that it's affiliated with a government, or are they going to see it as a private trademark and just goods and services being sold by one of Donald Trump's companies? So that's really what it's going to turn on.
All right, well, listen, is it all about whether or not he's trying to do this for profit or just image? If there's no real profit push, does it matter?
Well, it does matter, because in order to file for a trademark, you have to list goods and services that you intend to sell.
Oh, okay.
So the goods listed here, like clothing, bumper stickers, tote bags, drinkware. So there's clearly a profit incentive, and that's what this is an intent to use application. So there's no current products available, but trademark law allows you to protect rights in advance. So you file an intent to use, and basically that would counter anyone saying, hey, we're not planning to make money from this. Well, the application itself says that you plan to sell these items.
Is he getting pushback?
So I have not seen a lot of pushback with this particular mark as much as I've seen with the Donald J. Trump International Airport filing, which is another trademark that he's filed. So Trump 250 is not getting as much pushback as the other, because I think part of it might be that there is going to be a 250th anniversary of the United States. However, there is no Donald J. Trump International Airport. So there's a lot more pushback there as you're filing for a trademark before the thing even exists. And that one may be refused as deceptively misdescriptive. If there's no airport with that name, you're giving the public a false impression that there is. And again, that also faces the concern about the connection with a governmental entity.
Does it bother you that you might be walking through a store somewhere during the 250th anniversary celebration of the United States and you see a shirt that's got an American flag in red, white, and blue, and in the middle of it, it's Trump 250? He is the sitting president during the actual time of this taking place. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. Of course, I'm a Trump fan, but I could see where the Democrats and lefties would be going, it's not his country. It's our country, and he shouldn't have his name associated with the anniversary. He is a sitting president. Can we not give him the nod on that?
Yeah, so, well, when you mentioned that he's a sitting president, that's actually what makes this so unique. I mean, and people would say, well, there's other presidents that have airports named after them, but never during their term. Like the Ronald Reagan International Airport was 9 years after the presidency. Bill Clinton's was 11 years later. John F. Kennedy's was, of course, after he was assassinated. Right. So the fact that you have a sitting president filing trademarks for brands that some consider to be that certainly can cause some confusion with whether they're governmental entities or somehow affiliated with the government. So that's problematic.
Yeah. Do you think it'll get done anyway?
So if it does get approved, there's some options. The Trademark Office could approve it with required disclaimers to prevent any further confusion, or some kind of expressly disclaim that they're not associated with a governmental entity. So that's a possibility. It may be, really politics is going to play a role as well as to whether it's outright refused as being seen as falsely suggesting a connection between Trump, the mark Trump 250, and some governmental entity. That is, if this is somehow endorsed and not a private company filing for this trademark.
Are they really trying to profit from this, or is this just something he's, about his ego and his brand? Oh, and yes or no to that question. The second question is, if they change this from a profit situation for the Trump Inc. and made it a, let's say, all proceeds benefit a charity or something, would that be different?
So, yeah, I mean, you can benefit charity. You can have a good purpose behind it. But if the Trademark Office still sees confusion among the public, thinking that it's somehow associated with a governmental agency, it can still be, the two can still be correct. You can have a good purpose, a charitable purpose, and still be confusing the public, and the mark could be refused. So that in itself is not going to help overcome that reaction.
Well, I really appreciate your insight on this, and I still think he's going to get the airport at some point in his life, that's for sure. John Risby, thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.